Good evening, PLW Nation. It is PLW Nation Thursday night. I am your host, Brad Ogden, with my good friend Jonathon Wilson to give his expert commentary.
Yes, sir. I'm excited to be here, man. I saw this was it last Thursday you guys did one?
Yep.
I was like, I got to get up there. That looks fun, man. I love talking PLW.
Exactly. I mean, I do this out of love. Literally, doing these recaps, the rankings, all that stuff probably takes, 8 hours.
Yeah. No, I in my free time, I talk to Cody a lot. I talk to, Sansone, you. I talk to a lot of guys just outside of PLW, just about PLW. And it's fun, man. I love being out here. I love talking about it.
Yeah, so, between you playing and you worked 2 series, I played in a series and worked your series. Yeah. So there's only one series we didn't participate in, so we should be able to recap.
The Pharaohs one.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, I played that one. So
yeah.
Right off the bat, we're going to go with the first series. So we're going to kind of recap what happened for the guys that didn't get to watch. We only on Saturdays and Sundays, so it's kind of a marathon. Sometimes it's hard to check in or out, but you can always get on Twitch, man. Go to that schedule button,
rewatch them,
backspace, and you can rewatch the games. You can catch the commentary. I do it all the time. First series, my Legends against the new guys, the Pharaohs. Mm-hmm. We were a little shorthanded. No Taravella.
Yeah, that's
no Corral.
Sheesh.
So we only had 2 pitchers to start off, but I had my ace. I had Billy Osgood.
Yeah.
Billy was kind of the story in game 1. He hits a 2-run homer to put us up. And then maybe the highlight of our series happens in the second inning. Show the clip real quick, TB.
Let's take a look.
It's Nick Sansone.
Oh
my goodness.
He's so underrated in the outfield. People don't talk about Sansone enough. Ever since he got that hip replacement, man's been locked down out there.
I wish you guys could have seen Nicky 10 years ago.
When he's playing softball, I heard.
I heard. Like conference guy, majors, outfield, doing things with the bat, just unbelievable. Billy goes a complete game. We kind of hold off the Pharaohs. The Pharaohs have... It's Logan Christie and the Miracles for me.
I agree with that sentiment, but
except of Seth Barton.
Well, Seth Barton, he's unreal at the plate. But I think Riley Baxa, I still think, I don't know. I didn't watch the series, so
he was no show. He was not there.
Oh, okay. So that's another kind of big arm for them. I feel like in the first series against the Ones, he pitched well. I think he had 5 1/3 shutout innings or something like that.
Yeah, he pitched fantastic.
Yeah, he pitched well, and I think without him, it's going to be a lot on Logan, and then you guys know in this league, you can only throw 9 innings. So if Logan blows through his 9, you still got to get 9 somewhere else. And against a lot of these good teams out here, they're going to see, the PCL guys don't really have a pitch mix. They have maybe a fastball, maybe a little slider, but the big hitters in this league are going to crush that. So. And
then my rookie gets us another home run. Mm-hmm. Cade Watkins.
Yeah.
So I got the pleasure of playing with Cade, Gavin Mansell, and Seth Barton. They were all on the regulators. Cody, how dangerous would that team have been if you had kept them all together? I'm just saying. I'm not saying. I'm just saying.
Maybe we'd have the regulators in the league.
James Ogburn as a pitcher. Yeah. Literally, that was a solid team.
Yeah.
We take that first one, 4-3. Billy goes a complete game, strikes out 11. They had never seen the Osgood.
Vintage Billy.
Well, there were some looks. If you rewatch that series, guys, there's some looks, especially with some of the guys that haven't played yet or haven't played a lot. I look at Gage Sarna. I look at Cody Willis. He was throwing the Osgood, that little slider, and then he hits him with whatever that new pitch is, that little screwball he's got. And it's just
I feel like he's been working with that screwball for a while now.
Yeah.
I remember seeing that him start to develop that last year, and it was a very good pitch for him.
Yeah, so he gets the full Monty. We get full 6 innings. We have to go to the second guy. I'm going with Trenchy.
Yeah.
So we're going with Trenchy. They go Parker Trask. I like Parker Trask. I think he's got potential out, for days.
We got to start seeing that potential. You know what I hear a lot about how good Parker Trask is supposed to be, and if you're the Pharaohs, you haven't really seen it yet. So hopefully that comes up in the first season.
I think the first go around, the first 9 weeks when you're playing everybody one time, there's gonna be a learning curve because you see these guys, they have flashes. They always have that one game a series where it's they were going to beat whoever they were playing that game. This wasn't that game.
Yeah. Well, I also feel like, sorry to cut you off, Brad, but I feel like, like you said, the first 9 weeks is, as a pitcher, we all pitch against these guys week in and week out, days out, even practicing, things like that. We know kind of their tendencies at the plate, and that's kind of a PLW pitching advantage, I guess you could say. And for Parker Trask, he hasn't seen any of these hitters, so he doesn't know, this guy crushes inside, this guy crushes outside low. So, like you said, maybe after, the first 9 weeks he plays everybody, maybe he'll start figuring out a better pitch mix there.
Game 2 was Trench Pacone.
Yeah.
He gives me a complete game.
Woo-hoo, good old Trenchy.
Trenchy gets me a complete game. And he hits a bomb, Oppo Taco, off the facade.
Okay, Trench.
So he does it. And then my boy Nicky hits one over the walkway.
He cleared everything.
He cleared everything. He hit it to the
mountains.
stairs. And lefties, you're a lefty. Yeah. This park does not play well for lefties.
No, not at all. I think last year the most home runs a lefty had was like Gio with like 16 or something.
Yeah.
You got righties up like 15 righties over 20 plus. So.
Yeah. And this game is, again, this is Logan doing damage. Logan is the one guy that, man, if he comes up, he's been so locked in, I would say, since like a week after the Cajun trade.
I also agree with that. And what's crazy is I remember at some point, I think it was season 4 that was the last season we played at the ranch, right?
Yep.
Yeah. So I remember Logan was like, again, not talking anything bad about Logan. Logan's been an amazing player since. But I remember at some point he was like 0 for 35 or 0 for something. It was like 1 for 40. It was really bad. And I remember thinking like, man, Logan, like, I know he's an athlete. He's got to figure it out soon. And then the Logan I'm seeing now this is like an MVP Logan.
Yeah,
like, this kid is unreal right now.
We talk about three-way players.
He's
hitter, defense, pitching.
Yeah. I mean, he's a top 6, 7 pitcher in the league right now.
Yep.
He's probably a top 10 hitter and top 5 defender. So he's a monster right now.
So we go to game 3. Casey Taravella literally jumps out of the car as he's coming in over the fence, and I have my third pitcher because literally no JT Church.
Yeah, with no Church. Yeah.
No Church. Only 3 innings left from each of my guys because they both win 6.
You're gonna have to go someone that doesn't throw strikes to even get there.
Yeah,
first.
so we're trying to get there. Maybe an Ethan Wigfield. Can't throw Cade. My man Nick Sansone, he can throw strikes.
Yeah.
But this is the Logan Christie show. Like, Logan pitches his innings. He gets himself in and out. We get the bases loaded in the 6th, and we think we got a chance.
What was the score at that point?
They were up 5. They got, we made an error. Barden hits an absolute nuke. You call to right center. I mean, that ball's out of every wiffle ball park. Yeah. And it's just like, he just dropped the head on it. Yeah. And it was gone.
That's what he does, man.
And it's like, well, we made a mistake, and they made us pay where they hadn't done that before.
Yep.
We take the series.
What happened when the bases loaded?
We had to pop out, line out. Billy hits a absolute nuke about 5 feet in the air, right to Cody Wills. Like, absolute nuke. He gets it up, it might go, but no. And great defense. They made the play. We take the series 2-1. My player of the series, though, is not from the winning team. It's Logan Christie.
Wow.
455, 5 for 11. 2 bombs, 2 RBIs, 5 runs scored. He went 1-0 with 9 innings pitched. 10 strikeouts. He only allowed 5 hits. He walked nobody. To say that he was the player of the series, I have to give him his flowers on that one. Like,
absolutely.
I could pick a guy from my team, but they weren't. We were the better team for the series. He was the best player on the field.
What a series. I mean, go ahead, Logan.
Yeah.
Do your thing, man. All props to you, brother.
Yeah. So the second series, not so much fun. So it's my man, Jonathon Wilson.
I think I'm going to leave now. Thank you guys for having me.
Against the Vipers. So these are the two of the original 5, I like to call it. We call it, hockey NHL has the original 6. Yeah. We have the original 5. Yeah. These games have been, you flip a coin, who knows who's going to win.
Yeah, I mean, the rivalry is deep, man. Ever since we played them in the championship, we won the first time we played them and lost them the second time we played them. So, I mean, there's a rivalry there for sure, 100%. It's friendly, but, when we get in between those lines, it's go time.
Yeah, and it's also original players for all 6 seasons.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
So,
I mean, besides a couple players here and there, but the core 4, I feel like on both sides have kind of just been the same since season 1.
Yeah, this one, you guys go to the rookie, Austin Topol. No TB7 in the building.
I mean, he plays like TB7.
He does. Oh, I couldn't be more impressed. I was in the booth, so I played.
Yeah.
Came right up in the booth. I like watching snapper games.
Yeah.
I did a lot of snapper games last season just because the games are played at a high level.
Yeah.
Whether it's yourself, Weber, Briner. Now you got Topol. Before it was, our boy Murph.
Yeah.
You guys didn't lose a step. You picked up 2 rookies,
Man.
Whether they were sneaky because Weber brought them in and just did whatever. Whatever. Hey, whatever. It worked out. They're playing great, but this series was more about the offense that the Sand Vipers had, their top 4. They only had 6.
I mean, listen, guys, the Snappers, we just forfeited all 3 games. We didn't show up, so I don't care what the score says.
Well, they showed, but this was the A.J. Petrovsky game. Petrovsky hits a 2-run bomb. They take it.
Pitches behind off for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, the series altogether, I feel like, with the Snappers, we can never really get anything going in that series. There was, we had a couple hits there, a couple hits here, but we could never get the timely hit. And, I mean, the Vipers, you give them extra outs and you give them, zeros on, you're scoring zeros and you give the Sand Vipers chances to score, they're going to take them. So that team is a well-oiled machine. We're a well-oiled machine when everyone shows up, but missing TB7, it's kind of our spark plug. And, I mean, the Cards played the way they did, and game 1, it didn't.
Yeah, it was pretty. It was a 6-1 final with Weber hitting his solo home run in the 6th off of Tanek.
Yeah.
So that was like their own little rivalry. Tanek, my man, he literally threw it up to there. I got 99 home runs. Shane is third on that list with 93. Yeah. I think unless Adam goes oppo, Shane might get to 100 before he does. He's got to hit 1.
He had
Shane's
his chance that night.
Yeah.
He had his chance that night that day with the wind blowing out to right field, but we were able to keep him, somewhat contained.
Yeah, so I mean, you got a solo shot from McDowell that was a bomb. You got Hicks doing what Hicks does. He crushes a line drive home run. So they kind of flex their offensive muscle. Petrovsky goes 5 2/3.
Yeah.
5 innings. They try to save an inning. Swing gets the out. But then they go to the second game. You've been pitching like the Jonathon Wilson of season 4, top 5 ERA guy, top 5 in Cy Young voting, like unhittable.
Yeah.
I think the wind kind of impacted the way your breaking pitches break.
I mean, you said it best. I went back and rewatched the broadcast, and you were saying my stuff plays way better on still weather with no wind, and I 100% agree with that, especially if the wind is blowing out towards, left field. It breaks into my slider, and it just flattens everything out, and it allows people to just kind of jump all over everything.
Yeah, so you guys kind of trade some zeros. It looks like, hey, we kind of weathered that storm. We scored our run. We kind of say that's a precursor. The 6th inning, it kind of rolls sometimes, and they get that team rolls. But the Sand Vipers get on you in the 4th. Dean rolls over the lineup because you have Flente and Dean at the bottom, and then you go through their murderer's row. Tanek, Hicks, McDowell, and I don't think it was in that order. I think it was McDowell, then Hicks, and then Petrovsky.
Put their names in a hat and pick them out, and you'll still have a good lineup.
Yeah, so. He breaks the ice. He gets, Weber gets out of that jam. McDowell gets an RBI. Petrovsky adds a sac fly. The Sand Vipers had 3 more on the bottom of the thing. They kind of Tomolo struggles with control. You can't give them walks. You can't give them extra outs. And they just roll to a 7-0 lead.
And I think we had chances throughout all 3 of the games to at least, put in a fight. But, it's 1-0, 2-0, 3-0. And we're getting 2 on. Couldn't capitalize. And that stuff right there, it's exactly what the Sand Vipers capitalize on. And when you give them a 3-0 lead, it's only a matter of time until those floodgates open, and we just couldn't get to them in time.
So let's go to that home. Let's go to the clip we got here. We got a clip from game 2, I think. Yeah, it's got to be game 2, the game we're talking about. This is the bomb. I hate to show it off you, my friend, but that ball is demolished.
Yeah, I talked to McDowell after because McDowell's a good friend of mine, and he knows as well as I know that he hits that. My little cutter, he hits it very, very well. And he told me when I was warming up, he said, J-Dub, don't throw me that cutter. So I said, you know what? We're going to try this 12-6 that Brider taught me. And it did a lot of 12, and it did very little 6. So he was able to catch it up high. Yep, so he caught it up high, and that thing is not coming back.
So I want to make a commentary. How ridiculous. Oh, they're showing back-to-back. Don't do that to him.
No, I struck him out here. I struck him out here.
How ridiculous is the python they wrap around their neck and then whatever they're doing? How bad is that?
I mean, hey, to each their own. Every team's got their own celebration. It's definitely not on my top 5 list, but it could be on someone else's. So, it's probably entertaining for the viewers to see, but especially as a pitcher on the mound and you see them running around with this little plush snake on their neck.
Just want to throw one.
Yeah, I just want to rip it off your neck, dude. Don't do that to me when I'm on the mound.
So they get the second win, 7-0. We roll into the 3rd game. You guys go with Chad Tomolo again.
More of the same.
You give him I called it taking you to the woodshed. They did it early and often.
Yep. I mean, that's what you want your team to do every game.
Yeah, they got on you early. They get it over with quick. A couple of home runs in that game. Again, my thing with this league, and I think you'll agree because your team is based on defense and pitching, you must get 18 outs. It can't be 20.
Absolutely.
It can't be 20.
No. I mean, you have to be, the biggest thing to me in this league is it's almost a saying I said in softball all the time when I was coaching is that, like, make the routines.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If they're going to get hits, that's fine. But just make the routines, do what you can control, score the runs that you can score. You know what I'm saying? Pass the bat along. You can't win this game with one swing.
No.
So make the routines, pass the bat along, score what you can, and let the cards fall how they will. And we gave them extra outs. We didn't hit, and that's exactly what happens. We get swept. I think the series score was 1,000-2, so 1,000-1. I mean, it is what it is. But go ahead.
Yeah, well, veteran team, you'll come back. It's a blip.
Yeah, we'll
it's
bounce
1
back,
week of
100%.
18. It's
Absolutely.
1 week of 18.
I mean, those guys are dogs, man. Like we have dogs in our camp, and this is a one-off, and we'll bounce back. We'll be ready for next week.
Yeah, and we'll talk about the predictions and who you guys are facing later.
Yep.
My player of the week, Justin Hicks. So in 3 games, he went 8 for 10. He only had the 1 home run, but he had a double and 2 triples. So he leads the league in triples.
Struck him out one time.
Yes, struck him out one time. 9 RBIs.
Yeah,
he had more RBIs in a series than any legend has for the season.
Jesus.
And he scored 5 runs.
Jesus.
So that's a murderer's row. No Gannon, no Tavano.
Yeah. I was just about to say, so it's hard for us as snappers and for us to be able to say, oh, TB7's not there, that's going to happen. But they're missing Keegan. Mm-hmm. They were missing Tom. You're missing Tavano. Now you're missing 2 pitchers. You're missing 2 big bats and Tavano, who's a monster bat. So it's like it's hard to just say, hey, we don't have TB7, we don't have Murph, but they were missing just in the same amount of people as we were. So.
Yeah, attendance is going to be a talent this year, folks. Yep. It just is. Go to the third game, the third series, last one of the day. The ONEs against the Vaders. And we go Gutierrez. Yeah. I like Goot. Goot's got style. Goot's got a little.
He's a club guy, man.
Yeah, he's a guy that just doesn't like you. You talk mess to him, no problem, because he's going to give it back when it happens.
Absolutely.
And against Billy Santiwan, who on the season is 1-2. He doesn't look the same, but he's still pitching really well. I think he's just been like a victim. The ones get on the board again early. They've been out front or they've been in 1-run games a lot.
Yeah.
I just look at if there's no Chen.
No Stein.
No Stein. There was Stein there this week, but Stein, his offense was a little off, but they got to have Stein. They got to have Barrick. So they had as good a lineup as they're going to have. Yeah. And they just couldn't put any runs on the board. It seems like errors for the ones, no worry about getting the guy to stop him from third.
Yeah.
Like they haven't figured that out.
I don't think they really care about that rule.
Yeah.
I think they just think it is what it is.
And it showed a lot because you had a lot of guys first and third, and getting rid of that. What's the easiest double play on PLW?
3-2.
3-2.
I think that's the biggest advantage with that rule is if you could stop it, hey, you get yourself an easy double play, you get out of it. But I think the biggest problem with the ones right now is there's really no power. I mean, where's the power stroke coming from? You have to depend on AK.
Yeah.
And like AK, as much power as he does have, he's a big doubles guy, big singles guy. He walks. He's gonna hit 400, but who's gonna drive him in?
Yeah.
That's the problem. And with the Bird trade, it's like Bird was a big power bat in that lineup, and with no Chen, it's like who's gonna score those runs for them?
And so game 1, Billy pitched well. For me, it's probably my leading candidate for comeback player of the year. He might be in the MVP candidate.
I already know who it is.
Tanner Roundy.
Yep.
How filthy! Like we had to play softball with that guy. Like we did like a PLW softball team. A lot of fun.
Pure athlete, man.
Like just nonchalant. Like I don't like him because he hit the ball off the bounce and hit a double. Like come on. So
he just plays the game right. That's what I love about Tanner. Like the other day he came in for that series. I remember I was like, Tanner, you gonna do good today? He was like, we'll see. I was like,
we'll see. So
okay.
Yeah. So they take that first game 9-2. It really wasn't that close. Yeah. Stein Eder, you were in the booth getting to call this game.
Yep.
I look for Stein to win 60% of the games he pitches in. So if he pitches in 18, he has to win 10. Like he has to be. That's just me, in my opinion. That's how good he is.
Yeah. I mean, he's expected to do that.
Yes. Against Kyle Eder, who I keep saying It's only a matter of time. He's not going to hit 112 or whatever he was hitting.
No.
He's not going to. And he figured out that little screwball he's got.
Little.
Well, it's nasty. But he's throwing it effective outer pipe for strikes.
Yes.
And he looked really good. But when I say that, the ones battled in this game.
Yeah.
But it was one of those things where a little back and forth, a little thing of that, where it's, hey, what are we going to do? What are we going to do? This is another Tanner Roundy game. Gets a couple of RBIs. He walks out, but the beauty of what Sasai has going is, oh, my guy walked out. I just turned the ball to Billy.
Yeah.
Or to Tanner.
I mean, the biggest thing, their bullpen starting rotation, whatever you want to call it, it's powerful now with Kyle Letter figuring it out. Tanner Randy's throwing strikes this season. We've always said about Tanner, he looks good. He just has to throw strikes, and he's doing it this year. So, I mean, if one of them get in trouble, like you said, hey, Billy's up. Hey, Kyle's up. Hey, Tanner's up. Even Step throws strikes. Nate Stepna. So it's like looking good there.
Yeah, so Vaders, they're kind of dominating, and then here comes Richard Parsons gets on base.
Yep.
Couch hits a rope.
Yep.
Stein has a chance to tie the game, win the game, and Nate Stepna just makes like the most nonchalant one-handed grab, and that wasn't the best play because we saved the best play for last. We'll get to that in just a second. But hands of glue, they do whatever the dance is. I'm too old for that shit.
The gritty.
Don't know, the gritty. But they get the second one, so they take the series. They secure the series, which is kind of what everybody wants. We go game 3. AK against our guy Tanner Roundy. And again, the ones battle. They get Tanner out in the first.
Which is huge.
But he just goes to Eder. They just go to Eder.
Still got Billy.
You still got Billy. You still got Eder. He gets out of the jam. The Vaders take that momentum. They score 4 runs in their half. But the big, and you called it with our buddy Shane, you can't lollipop to a veteran. Jason Walker in a jersey that didn't fit.
Can't do it, man.
Just demolishes a pitch. No.
It doesn't matter who's at the dish. If you're one a veteran in this league or two have ever had any baseball experience, or softball experience, don't throw the lollipop. What does it accomplish?
It doesn't accomplish anything unless you miss way up.
Yeah, and then even then, it's like, unless you're going to come back with like 59 tink and make them swing, it doesn't really do much for you, man.
Yep. And then the ones battle back. Goot hits his 2-run bomb of his own. We get an RBI double from Roundy and Billy another solo. So he's led off.
He leads the league in home runs now.
He leads the league in home runs, but I think he's led off 4 separate games with a leadoff home run. He did it again in this series. There's another big inning in the 5th where the ones score a bunch of runs. They battle back, and then the Vaders bounce right back and say, okay, so it's kind of like, hey, back and forth, back and forth. Our boy Eder gets his first home run of the series.
Which was big for them.
Which was big. And then Jason Walker hits another home run. This one, a 3-run bomb.
This one was unfortunate.
Right off of Barrick's hands.
And Barrick, he couldn't, I don't know if you guys could tell, but where the sun was, setting here in Vegas at where the field is setting, it was literally directly in Spencer's eye. He couldn't see the ball. And I remember staring at him. I'm like, I don't know if Spencer's catching this. And he saw it as soon as it hit his hands, and it bounced right over his shoulder.
Yeah.
It was unfortunate. What was the score at that point? I forgot what it was.
So that makes the score 10-6.
That's what it was, yeah.
He bets him up 10-6 when it was
It's a one-run game.
It was a one-run game when he does that. Goot, not to be outdone. He says, I got ice in my veins. Yep. He hits a 2-run bomb.
And think about how Spencer catches that where we're at here now.
Yeah. There's the ones, again, playing like a veteran team should. But then we get into the 6th, and we get Walker gets Stein to hit into a spectacular ground ball. It could have been so nonchalant. Like, we could have had to step in the play. Show the clip real quick.
Oh, man. Listen, folks, this was which one is this one?
This is to end the game.
Yes. Look at this.
Off of Stepna, back.
Oh! Boom. Listen, guys, that was behind the back. And think about it. If this ball gets past him and gets into the outfield, you have a first and third with a chance to take the lead here, and Kyle Eder, throws. Granted, if you're a coach, you don't want to see that, but luckily the behind the back throw was directed to the second baseman. So
I think that confidence. Again, we got to play ball with Eder a little bit. We got to meet him outside of wiffle ball. As he gets going, the confidence, so he pitched well. and he hit his first bomb. He kind of had the monkey off the back kind of thing. We saw that in another series with a different player.
Yep.
He's going to make plays. He's an MVP type player, and he is another true. This might be the only team that has three-way All-Stars. Tanner Roundy is unbelievable, and Kyle Eder, and then Nate Stepna. Like he just comes in and not like he's not done it before. He has a couple hits.
I remember I was talking to him when he showed up for that series, and I was like, "Bro, how long has it been since he swung a wiffle ball bat?" He was like 6-8 months.
Yeah,
comes in, just starts roping the ball, throwing it just fine. I'm like, okay,
yeah.
It's like riding a bike for some of these guys out here, man.
So we could have picked a lot of people. Tanner Roundy was player of the week last week. Yeah. My player of this series, Jason Walker.
Wow.
So 2 for 3 with 2 bombs, 5 RBIs. 1, he gets the win in 2 innings. So he secures the win, and he's the reason that they won. He only got 3 at bats, folks. But when you do 2 bombs,
was it 5 ribbies too?
5 RBIs, 2 home runs.
Yeah, you can't beat that, man. His impact on both of those games with both of those home runs was huge.
Yeah.
His innings pitched were great innings. So
let's look at the chat real quick. Looks like we got Nicky Sansone.
Where's my guy? There he is.
There we go. Good morning. Got PL Nighthawk in there. He's all the way from the Philippines. Gotta love that.
Yesterday. Welcome, Nighthawk.
Raven in the Desert. That is, I believe, that is James Ogburn.
Okay.
So that's James Ogburn, my former teammate.
That's Pops.
Who added the clips? Yeah, Sasai. So that's Sasai.
So adding clips during... Yep. This is bad. Yeah, absolutely.
So we got the clips. We're going to try and do a series.
We got Miller. We got Andrew Miller in there. What's up, boy?
We got Aaron Gamer. We got Aaron. He's a Diablo. He plays for TB52 down in the PCL.
There's your guy Jameson. Says Mr. Regulators.
Jay Spur. We got Brendan Height, it looks like.
There's all my dogs right there.
So
Jay Spur. Oh, that's another MVP candidate.
Oh,
we'll talk to him.
We're getting there.
Yes,
we're getting there.
Jay Spur's having himself a season.
Yeah, another 3-way guy.
Absolutely.
So
let's see what else we got in there. We got Cody. What's up, Cody?
Miller
Time.
We got everybody. We got everybody in there. So the regulars, the hardcore guys are in there. We got 41 viewers. Now we're going to go to
you guys.
Now we're going to go to Sunday. Sunday starts. Did you start in the booth on Sunday, or was it after the afternoon?
I
you were
did.
There?
Sunday. What was
Bombers,
the first series?
Bombers Cajuns.
Yeah, I was in the booth for that series.
Bombers Cajuns. Yep. Cajuns, the champs. Little hangover, we call it. Maybe they're suffering a hangover against a team that, when they all show.
Go ahead. I'll let you finish your point.
When they all show, that lineup is pretty potent.
I can't.
You can't agree.
The reason why I don't disagree in the fact that like they're not good hitters. I disagree in the fact that it's hard for them to find runs because I forgot who I said this to, but their best hitter happens to be a lefty, and at this field it's hard to drive out. But with Gavin in there's a lot of potential power. We just haven't seen it yet. And then coming into this series,
yeah. So this one, Max Fernandez, 2-2 on the year against Andrew Leday, one of the better pitchers in PLW. He might be one of the better pitchers in the country, too, when it comes to just throwing
that finger change, and the Heath has like 3 different variations of it.
He's not
unhittable.
That's why I'm in the PCL, because I can't hit that.
It's not fun, especially as a lefty.
So the Bombers have been making I call them bombing runs. You trip, you make a mistake, boom, 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 they get you. That didn't happen.
What I will say is before this series, I was in the booth with Sasai, and we had a little conversation. We said, what do you kind of expect to see out of this series, and what have we seen from these teams coming in? And it seems like the Bombers have kind of started finding their little strides. They were, Mateo's hitting bombs, Trevor's hitting, he found his power stroke again. Max was finally starting to hit the ball, Hollis hitting. So the Bombers were looking good coming into the series. And the exact opposite for the Cajuns was happening. What were they, 1-5 before coming into this series? They weren't hitting the ball well. I know I was talking to Cody Reynolds, and everyone on that team was hitting under like 230 except for Giordano, and it's like, you guys are the champions, I mean? It's time to wake up here. Like, we're 3 weeks into the season already. Like, what are you guys going to show us? And that was kind of coming into the series where, like, this is almost a must-win for the Cajuns. Like, you kind of have to make a statement. I mean, it's way early in the season, but you don't want teams being like, oh, the Cajuns? Like, well, we're going to destroy the Cajuns. And people get confidence against the Cajuns because last year, people were scared, man. I got to face Roosh and Leday for 18 innings. It wasn't fun. So, coming to this series, that was kind of where our thoughts were at. And,
Yeah, so we talk about that, too. Like, when we made the trade for Trench, we were 2-7.
Yeah.
We made the playoffs. We won 30 games.
Yeah.
So we finished, 30-54. Mm-hmm. So we went like 20-something and 17.
Yeah.
Like, unbelievable.
Yeah.
You can't go after week 4, week 5, if you're 6 games out of first.
You're going to start winning 2 of 3 every series.
That's going to be tough. So this one, Leday keeps the Bombers at bay, which is kind of what he does. Boba gets a big 2-out RBI, kind of breaks
Down
the ice.
line, I remember that.
Yeah, and then you got, like, this was kind of a death of 1,000 cuts in the first game. Like, Boba gets an RB double. Giordano gets a double. Leday joins the crowd with a 2-run single. Devlin Daniel
hitting stuff up the middle.
Yeah.
Devlin. It's
I mean,
1,000 cuts was a perfect representation of what this game was.
Leday gets out of another jam, gets 2 runners, big strikeout, and then Sashi Boba at third.
Yeah.
So I talk about when they had Kiefer and all those guys, like they look like you couldn't hit it by him because they're so long. Like
and their
Sashi,
hands are like webs.
Well, I don't know. Sashi's a tall guy. He's probably 6'2", 6'3", and he's got a wingspan. He's still mobile. He can get down. So it's just unbelievable.
Have you seen his hands?
Yeah, I have big hands and his big mine.
It's unreal.
Yeah. They had a couple more. Mansell, the man-child, money. Hits a bomb.
I've been waiting. I heard he hit one, I think, previously, and she was like, that was my spotlight player of the week was Gavin Menzel. So I wanted to see what he could do, and he showed it off. Bombers get 3 in the 6th. They're trailing the whole time. Yeah. They're down 9-0. They get 3. Get a little bit of confidence.
A lot of confidence. Yeah. They come back. I kind of like that. And it's Lonell Simmons. They gets a single. Trevor Bauer gets a single, but too little, too late.
Absolutely.
Cajuns win.
I always say at the end of those games when you're getting blown out like that, just try to find some sort of something to spark you up for the next game.
Yeah.
And, going into game 2, that was a good start in my opinion.
Game 2, they go to Hartwell to start.
Questionable.
Against Mansell. Again, maybe not questionable.
That might have been the reason they chose Hartwell.
Yeah.
I mean, well, actually, no, because the Cajuns didn't really have anybody behind Leday.
Yeah, because LaRouche wasn't here.
Yeah, I'm throwing Max or I'm throwing... Who started game 1 for the Bombers? It was Max. So I'm throwing either Trevor, I'm throwing Alex, I'm throwing somebody where I can give myself a good start. So I didn't like that play call there by the coach, but
yeah,
maybe that's why I'm not a coach.
This time, the Bombers get out to a quick lead. They walk out Gavin in the first inning, which is great. Max Fernandez gets off the board. Guess what? 3-run bomb, because we don't call them the singles. They're called the Bombers.
Yeah.
Cajuns are quiet, but they wake their bats up on the way. Like Runnels, who was hitting what? Cody,
I want to say
hitting 800?
I want to say this for everyone out there listening. Me and Cody go to the bar, and we hang out all the time, right? So we go to the bar, and we're talking about how the league is going, and I'm asking him, like, what's going on with the Cajuns? Like, you guys only have 1 win. What's going on? And he was like, nobody's really hitting well on our team. And I was like, I haven't seen that. And he was like, what are you hitting this year? You got to be hitting like at least 270, 300, somewhere around that range, right? He was like, bro, I'm 3 for 21. I almost fell on the ground, Brad. I said, what?
What?
You are not hitting 3 for 21. And he comes into this series, and I don't remember how many hits he had, but I know it had to be like 6 or 7. The dude was going nuts.
He was on base all the time. Devlin
2 for 18. There it is.
Devlin Daniel hits a rocket shot. That I think he tacoed the ball the whole way out and still went out.
Still halfway up the berm.
Still halfway up the berm. The Cajuns add runs in the 5th. The throwing error for the Bombers. They get another run. I mean, it's just kind of like Bomber errors, and it was like an error by...
I think what happened was it started with an error by Hollis.
Yeah.
Went directly under his legs, which...
Never happens.
Never see that again. Then it was an error, I believe, or a ball that just Alex couldn't get to at short.
Yeah.
That got through. That scored another run or two, and I think someone hit a bomb. I think Gavin hit a 3-run bomb off Hartwell, or somebody hit a bomb off of Hartwell.
Yep.
And then before you know it, it was a Manziel home run.
That's Manziel hits a home run, but the Cajuns limit the Bombers to 4 hits.
Yeah.
And they win that game.
No, it's the clip.
The clip. Hit the clip. The Manziel homer clip. Let's see that
ball
bomb.
was destroyed.
And Manziel might be what? Like Manziel's what, 5'9"?
Nah, if that.
If that, maybe 130 pounds dripping wet.
Swings like he's 270 pounds and 6'7".
Like he just absolutely.
I mean, look at the score there. It's 3-0 though. Bottom 2. You get some runners on, like get Hartwell out of there, man. Go to TB 52. Go to Max. Go to someone who's gonna get you outs, man. I can't stress it enough to you guys. I don't care how many innings you got left. You could have 1 inning left. I want to win the series. I'm not trying to play to luckily win this one and then try to secure game 3. Like, no, win game 1, or you already lost game 1, so you have to win game 2 here.
Yep.
Like, it doesn't matter. You can't save pitchers there. So, I mean, leaving Hartwell in there was kind of a mistake. I mean, as you say, tunnel or hindsight's 20/20, but everybody knew, take him out, get him out of there. But
yeah, exactly. I'm a guy that focuses on if we win game 1, I'll worry about game 2 in game 2.
Yeah.
I'm trying to win a game. I don't care.
Absolutely.
I'm not worried about innings. I'm not worried about anything.
No.
If I have to go out there with the fifth pitcher on my roster because everybody's walked out and I have no more innings, so be it.
Yeah.
I'm trying to win one game at a time.
And I hate when people say, "Oh, he only has 3 innings left. We need that for game 3." No, you don't.
No.
Win game 2. Who cares what happens game 3? Like you said, worry about it when you get there.
Yep.
We'll worry about that when we get to game 3.
Game 3, Kenny Santiago, the nasty knuckleballer.
Oh, man.
He has no wins, no losses. I can't imagine, but he's been a victim of some weather, kind of, And they go to Cody Runnels because they got to have somebody start because there's
Somebody's
no
got
Roosh.
to get innings, yeah.
So Cody picks up the win in the last game with his 1 inning to kind of skate through that, and they start this one, and the Bombers waste 0 time jumping on Cody. 3-run bomb by Hollis Hale.
Yep.
Max Fernandez goes back-to-back. They score 4 runs, and
Finally
that's basically
something.
Yeah, that's all she wrote. Devlin Daniel and Lede, scratched for a run.
Yeah.
But the Bombers win 4-2, and Runnels has his league-leading 10th walk. You wanted to make sure I mentioned that. He has 10 walks.
Well, I remember I was up here when I think he walked again, and Tannick or somebody put in the chat that said this was Cody's ninth walk. And I was like, that is a lot of walks for a guy that doesn't like walking and struggled to walk last season. And it's good to see, man. Especially when he was in a slump early in the season. I went in a season-long slump last year, and there's nothing better when you're in a slump than taking a walk. Like, it's like, okay, fine. I can actually help my team now and get on base.
Exactly.
So I know he's happy about those 10 walks. He also had 7 hits in the series. So I was happy to see that for him, man. That's my friend.
I go Andrew Lede. Not a 3-way star, but this is a guy whose career batting average is 400. His ERA is under 3 for a career.
I think he went through 9.
But 429, 6 for 14 with a bomb, 6 RBIs. He scored 3 runs, went 1-0, pitched all 9 innings, got 12 strikeouts, 1 walk,
ERA looks crazy.
5 hits. Well, that's just for the series. So 0 ERA. Yeah. He gets all 9 innings. I'm a big proponent of your ace, whoever that is. If you have an ace, whoever that is, his 9 innings must equal 2 wins.
100%.
He has to give you 2. He has to pitch 9 every time. And
also, if I ever see a scoreboard or a stat sheet of when you're acing, if it's under 9, if your ace didn't throw 9 innings, I better at least see a series win.
Yeah.
If they only threw 7 and you lost the series, somebody needs to have a conversation with the coach.
Unless he walked out, but he needs to make all 3
different.
appearances.
Yeah,
he may make 3 appearances.
Yeah, 100%.
The last series, I think there was a lot of hype. Night Owls were in second place. They were right behind. I mean, they
starting
were
to look good.
They looked good. The Lightning got to a fast start last year.
Yeah.
Kind of cooled off, but this team. So
it's hard. This is going to be hard to
hear.
This
is hard to hear.
It's hard to say too.
It's hard to say. They're going to be 8-1. They get a sweep here. The final score is 29-1.
They might not lose a series all season, Brad.
No,
and I don't want to say that.
I don't want to say that either, but they look really good. They look the part.
Top to bottom, and Chad's finally coaching himself a good team. He's coaching Purdy putting Purdy out there in the right moments, and everything right now is just clicking for them.
Well, the beauty of it, we talk about it again.
Yeah.
So the Owls worked well for a while. Like, they're in the first game. What is it? The Night Owls bottom half to get back-to-back walks. I think Bo needs to bat more, get these to help calm the younger guys down. He's got a couple of seasons under his belt, underrated, like a 270 hitter.
Bo can run into him.
Yeah.
So,
absolutely.
I don't think he needs to be hitting himself more, like you said. I agree 100% with that.
So my thing is, Jake Purdy walks out, and my line is, don't worry, Lightning fans. They turn to Tyler Hallett. It's like, come on.
And it's funny because you say, he looks just like Purdy, but he's just a much bigger Purdy at this point, man. He looks insane on the mound right now.
So he gets out of the jam throwing 1 pitch. Yeah. Purdy just walks out, and Tyler Hallett throws 1 pitch to Silva, who pops it up.
Yeah.
Come on. You got to see it. You got to see a pitch.
Got to. And if you walk Purdy out, as a team, especially in the first inning, you're like, okay, we got to lock in here.
Yeah, we got to lock in. Top of the second, this is another one of my death by 1,000 cuts. Yeah. They literally go, Purdy gets a walk, Houston a single, Hallett a double, Spurrier, they jump out to a 4-0 lead after 2. Yeah. They take out Hallett. He pitches, I think, a little bit more, but Levi looks effective, but for a run, he's not getting any run support. He's back on the Stoneman.
When he's DeGrom. Yeah. It's like DeGrom on the Mets, man.
Evans pulls him out, saving him for, this is where,
taking him out
does make sense because you're thinking about winning a series now. He's not throwing away the game. Maybe
unless they bring the score back close, it's like Levi's not seeing.
You can. He has Holligan. He has Silva. He has a laundry list. Miller. A lot of guys that can throw. Brundage can pitch. Maybe those guys get a couple guys out, and you get a couple runs, and then you can reevaluate.
100%.
Doesn't happen.
Good coaching move right there by both.
It doesn't happen. 2-out single, bases loaded. All of a sudden, it's 8-0 Lightning, and the route is on.
Yeah, it's at that point. It's just a race to 15 at that point for the Lightning, man.
The bright spot comes in the 6th. Chad comes in again, saving innings.
Yeah.
He promptly gives up a bomb. He can't edit that one out. That's an earned run. Bomb to Levi.
Yeah.
That would be the only run the Owls score
series
of the whole series. They didn't even get a hit in the 3rd game.
So that was 2 series this week, or 2 series this weekend. They only one run was scored. Ours in that series.
Yeah. So they've given up 6 runs in 9 games.
Yeah.
So think about that.
The Night Owls have or the Lightning?
Lightning.
6 runs in how many games?
9. 54-6 is their run differential.
Oh my, Brad. That doesn't even make sense. That's not that shouldn't even be allowed.
It's not, but it's the facts. Like they have.
Oh my Lord!
I want to say they have 6 shutouts because they lost the game 4-3. Think about that.
Oh my God!
Their loss. So in their 8 wins, they've given up a total of 2 runs.
You know what's crazy is that like. It's funny because obviously they're dominating, but when you look at that lineup is so scary. Like you have Bruce.
We haven't even gone to game 2 yet. So game 2, they start Randy Dalby. Didn't even talk about him. So there's a for all you new to wiffle ball world, there's a website, a page called The Drop.
Yeah.
Top 100 wiffle ball players in the country. You'll find that we have a handful of guys.
Yep.
Randy Dalby's in that list because of what he does nationwide. Yep. He takes the mound.
Yeah.
Well, the game 2 starts even better for the Lightning. Any game tonight? No game tonight. Only on Saturday.
This is just like it's a recap show for the previous weekend and kind of catch all the fans up to speed that did miss this weekend. So,
but you know what we will do? We'll give you the website. We'll show you how to get there, and you can watch the games that we're talking about on the schedule. Do a little back, and you can see me and Wilson in the booth.
Absolutely, and there's some clips that are going to be in tonight's show as well. You get to see a couple little previews of what happened this past weekend.
But game 2 starts good for the Owls.
Yep.
They walk out Dalby. Not to fear, Lightning fans. Phillips turns to Tyler Hallett. He gets 2 outs. So there's bases loaded, 1 out. Hallett throws 3 pitches. 2-pitch strikeout, ground ball. They're out of the inning. Guess who gets the win in the first game when he only pitched 1 pitch?
I'm going to say Hallett.
Tyler Hallett.
Okay.
There's a theme here. He pitches 2 pitches in game 2.
I'm going to also guess Hallett.
Hallett gets the win there. That's downhill from there. Lightnings get 3 runs in the second, a 3-run bomb by Bruce the Juice. They add 2 more runs in the 3rd. They add 3 more in the 5th with behind a Dalby bomb.
Yeah.
Lightning done. Not adding 3 more in the 6th to seal the deal. They win 11. After Hallett gets out of that jam, he turns to Purdy, who strikes out 7. And then Jay Spur comes in and gets his.
They're just toying with people. This isn't fair.
They look for another sweep. So we go to
we also have a clip, guys, of this Bruce home run we want to show you guys.
Hit this Bruce home run clip.
This guy hit some of the farthest bombs in the league.
With the Sox, though.
Make sure you keep your eyes peeled here.
Incoming.
Look at Levi. Doesn't even look. That ball is on the burn. Oh, my. Levi doesn't even give it, like, the respect look. I hate as a pitcher. If you're my outfielder, make it look like it wasn't as far, come on, man. Let's take a look. I want to see one more look at that. Levi didn't even move. Didn't even budge. Oh, my God. This ball was blasted.
You got it right, Sasai. He never even moves.
Look at Bruce.
What? Oh, neither does Miller. Miller's like, I didn't even move either.
The entire team, I think, is just like, yeah. Look at this. Look at Levi.
Kiefer. See, Kiefer just head down. So that's game 2.
That was funny.
That's game 2. Game 3. They go to Tyler Hallett, who has now 4 wins on the season. He picked up 2 already.
8 pitches.
Total of he's no pitches. Blood in the water. The Lightning waste no time getting on it quick. They push 8 across in their part of the first. 6 free passes by the Owls. No pitching. The big blow, Hallett hits a double off the wall to drive in 3 runs.
The Hallett double was hit like 109. It went right on my face.
Yeah, like it was moving.
I asked Brundage, I said, did you even see it? He said, no. I didn't even see it until I heard it off the back wall.
You got another RBI by Hallett. Spurrier adds one. They go up 10-0. Mercifully, the game ends after a mercy rule. Hallett with 1 inning.
Yeah.
Purdy with 1 inning. Houston comes in and pitches. The 3 combined for a no-hitter. Hallett collects all 3 wins.
Oh, wow. He won game 3, too.
He won game 3, too. So, needless to say, he's the player of the series.
Yeah.
6 for 13. 461. He has 7 RBIs, 6 runs. He goes 3-0 with no runs given up. He hasn't given up a run all year. He's 4-0 with a 0 ERA. 5 innings pitched, 3 strikeouts.
I hate the Lightning. No, in all seriousness, a lot of my good friends are on that team, and just a shout out to the Lightning guys, man. You guys are playing unreal wiffle ball right now. I don't see any team in this league. It's the Lightning very far down in the rest of the league. Like, the Lightning just look unreal right now. Their pitching is on top of it. Their hitting is on top of it. Their defense is some of the best defense in the league. Like again, as much as I hate to say it, and I'm not even going to say it.
So we're going to go right to the rankings real quick here. We got the rankings, my updated rankings. Again, this is just me.
Yeah.
Nobody else has a say, just me.
Yeah.
Number 1, we got the Lightning. They're 8-1. They picked up their 5th and 6th shutouts of the season.
Yeah.
They haven't played nobodies.
Yeah.
They've played the Sand Vipers.
Yeah.
Win 2 out of 3. The Cajuns.
Or Cajuns, yeah.
Yep. And then they played
the Night Owls.
The Night Owls.
Who were arguably
the second best team at the time. So they look good. They go up against the Vaders this week. I like this matchup because the Vaders I have at my number 2 spot.
We should have started backwards, Brad. It went up.
I know, but I like to start at the top. I like to start at the top.
That's going to...
so the Vaders got a 3-game winning streak. They have a 4-game winning streak. They look really good.
Yep.
Walker just adding to the bottom, a veteran that kind of helps get what they need to do. Roundy, Stepna, Gio. These guys show up. This is a team that can... This is a matchup that we want to talk about for sure.
I kind of want to ask you your opinion on all these teams that we're going to go through. What do you think their biggest strength is, and what do you think one of the weaknesses of each team?
Biggest strength of the Lightning is the top 4.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go top 4 guys. Dalby when he's there 5. But Dalby's a 60% player.
Mm-hmm.
So their weakness is the bottom of that lineup.
Yeah.
Tim Riley can run into him, but he's one of the lowest hitters in the career, 170-something lifetime. Chad Phillips, not really a hitter, but Purdy's turned it on. Purdy's found a stroke. If he can keep rolling that lineup over, the rookie Joey Lawrence looked good taking balls.
Yep.
Like, I think I got that name right. If I got it wrong, it's not on purpose. But the thing that I think that can get them is if you get on them early, because, I look back at some of the series that they lost last season. It's walking out, the overconfidence, because they got out to this same start last year.
Yeah. I think they were 8-1 again last year.
They were 11-1 last year.
Yep.
So this is the same thing that they did last year, and they made it to the playoffs, and then they made it to the championship and got beat by, just in my opinion, a better team that series.
Yeah.
Vaders, attendance is going to be their bugaboo.
I agree.
And
I think their positive and their negative is Kyle Etter. If you can keep his head level and you keep him where he's actually enjoying playing wiffle ball, you got yourself an MVP candidate. Mm-hmm. But if the things go off the rails, and Kyle's having a bad series, it could bring the entire energy of the entire team down. Yeah. So
he's one bad swing away from ripping his jersey off. Number 3, Sand Vipers.
Yep.
The lineup is powerful, top to bottom. Again, they're top 4 when 5 when you add Keegan, because Petrovsky's playing well. Tanek is Tanek. Their issue for me is not their defense. When Tavano shows up and Hicks is at short and Dean is at third, ball's on the ground, that he just makes plays. The pitching
staff
is 100%. Suspect. I thought for sure they would make a play. They made a trade. They acquired Austin Bird Bull, another
Which
bat.
is a big pickup for them.
Big pickup for nothing.
Yeah.
They got a second round pick. Hopefully that bolsters the bottom of the order.
Give them an arm too.
Yeah.
Bull can pitch.
Yeah.
Don't forget about that. He can also pitch, but albeit he has no strikes.
Yeah. And then I go 4. I go the Bombers. Again, this is kind of they're 4-4. They're kind of in the middle of the table.
Yeah. This might be the only spot I disagree with so far.
Understood. But I look for them to bounce back. So basically the top 4 teams, they all play each other.
Yeah.
Bombers Sand Vipers, Vaders, Lightning. We'll talk about those a little later in the predictions part. Then I got my guys, number 5. We are the worst scoring team in the league, but we've played one thing we haven't had in 4 seasons. Yeah. We're playing defense, and we're pitching.
Okay.
We have the second best ERA in the league, behind only the Lightning. And I didn't have my ace until game 3. I didn't have Casey Taravella. Trenchy looks like the Trenchy of seasons 3 and 4.
Yeah.
Billy looks like Billy. What do we got? Oh, crap. Tyler Hallett. What did Tyler say?
Just reading everything Cody's saying and Tyler.
League standings. Oh, yeah. I don't do league standings. League standings don't mean anything. League standings mean absolutely nothing. Because this is the power rankings. This is the power.
It's going to have some different differentiations or different
and we're tied with the least amount of walks. Yeah. So I like that. I like the fact that we put the ball in play. So our biggest weakness is going to be attendance. If I have a full roster, Nicky batting 1, DC batting 2, Garcia batting 3 or 4, Casey batting 3 or 4, Billy in the lineup, Trench in the lineup, and Cade Watkins in the lineup. Yeah. JT Church is there to eat innings in the middle. I got Ethan playing defense. If Cade and Casey are in the outfield, nothing's hitting the ground. So
I agree. I think where you guys are at 5, I like you guys at 5. The only discrepancy I see here is, well, I'll let you get into the sixth
team. I got the Cajuns Nation. I'm saying you can exhale now. Like, they've played better the last 2 series. They won without Ryan Roost. They won a series. Yeah. They look good. Mansell looks like the real deal. Cody's found it. Leday's going to hit. Yeah. Leday's not going to hit 200, guys. It's not going to happen.
Leday's going to finish the season hitting 390 plus.
He's going to be
just heard it here.
Mark it down.
The best hitter. Mark my words right now. And again, I have no problem going out saying this. Leday is the best hitter in this league.
Yeah.
He is. He's the best hitter in this league. He can do it all. And if there's a little bit of wind going out to right, he's going to hit bombs. So it's
not
going to hit 200, guys. Please don't think that's the Cajuns.
Yeah, don't think that's the Cajuns. So I had number 7. This is probably where you say the biggest one. Because
I think the biggest discrepancy, I wanted you to get to them first, was this at Cajuns at 6. I think I'd flip them in the Bombers. That's the rest of your list. I think is spot on. I think we belong there.
Yeah, so I got the Snappers at 7. Tough week, getting swept by the Sand Vipers. Again, regardless of attendance, you play with who you got. I like your rookies. I like the top of your order. I like GK. GK's bat plays now. I think his bat is legitimate. His defense
is still
too,
man. GK's he's been a revelation for us.
I think you're going to have ups and downs. I think Topol can look great one week. Kennedy can look great one week, and then they face maybe a different pitcher or it just welcome to wiffle ball. It happens.
I think I know my teammates are not going to want to hear this, but a 7 is probably where we're at right now. I got to get better on the mound. We still don't know what we're going to get out of Austin over a full season. Again, he started out the season hot. Everyone's kind of big on Austin. I'm still big on Austin. I think he's Rookie of the Year right now. But he kind of came back down to earth in the last series, and it's what's going to happen. And people can't expect this kid to hit 4 home runs every series. He'd be the best player in the league if he did.
It'd be great. So it's great to watch.
He has pitched well before this last series against the Vipers, and he finally pitched against the top team and got hit a little bit, and it's kind of like a welcome to the PLW for him. So if he can sort of kind of live in the middle of that range, obviously he's not going to give us he could, but Ryan Murphy was a different level of a player. But if he can be near Ryan Murphy, and we can get Murphy to some games, and Briner's there, and I can figure out some more pitching, and Maderos can be there, and Greg can, there's a lot of different variables for us that if we can put all these pieces together, there's no doubt in my mind that we're a top 3 team in this league. But where we are right now and what we put on display last weekend, I can't argue with number 7.
I go 8. I go the Night Owls. I got them dropping 2 spots. Yeah. They ran into a buzzsaw. Yeah, I think they were really high. I don't think they're an 8 team. I think they got a little more fight, a little more camaraderie. Yeah. A little better clubhouse. You know, not so many guys saying, poor me, poor this, whatever. Well,
it's kind of the same thing with the Vaders as for them. If Levi's level-headed and Levi's not, having his moods, then again, you have an arguable MVP candidate, but if he gets off the rails, the whole team morale goes down.
Number 9 is the Pharaohs. They've had 3 bad splits in a row, so again, I say they flash brilliance, but they show mediocrity. The pitching, they need Baxa. Yeah. Barden has to hit better. They strike out way too much. They don't walk enough.
Strike out at too high of a clip, man.
Well, power for days. Yeah. I think they're second.
Famine right now.
Well, I think they're second or third in the league with 16 bombs. Yeah. but they had the lowest on-base percentage, the lowest walk percentage.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
So look what it's translated to. What's the record right now? Do you have it?
It's 3. They're 3-6, and they started off 2-1.
All I can say to them is welcome to the PLW.
Or 1-2. So they started off 1-2, and they got a big. They've had 3 1-2 series.
What I can say for if there are any ones or not ones, if there are any Pharaohs in the chat, I know Miller's in there, so he's gonna go tell his friends. But my one advice to them is if you're the Pharaohs, listen. A lot of these teams in the PLW already. I'm not gonna say they don't like you, but it's this is kind of our league, and you joined in, and it's we're not here to play with you guys. We're not giving you free wins. We're not throwing whatever pitchers so you guys can get hits. No, we want to show you guys that you don't belong in this league. So until you guys are gonna have to start hitting well, and I think the Pharaohs have a really good team, and I think it's just they're gonna have to get their minds right. I see they're in the dugouts. They're not really worried about the game. They're eating.
Well, no BP.
Not really focused.
First game of the weekend, no BP. They were eating. Now, Zoe's tamales Mom's tamales.
They're unreal.
They're unreal. They're outstanding. But you're facing a pitcher you've never faced. Yeah. 2 pitchers that have more guile than more stuff than speed. You know what I mean? Yeah. And they look like it. They look like they got beat by 2 old guys.
And I think that team's going to put it together. There's so much talent over there. All those kids are really good.
They are.
Just got to start focusing up, man.
Baxa has to be there.
Yeah, Baxa's.
I think Bosnos needs to pitch too. That's just me.
I haven't seen Bosnos pitch.
Bosnos can pitch.
He's pretty well.
He can pitch.
Yeah. I mean, right now they're depending on Logan. Baxa's there. That's another good pitcher you have. They got to find that 3-star. Oh, I forgot. Barton Trask is good too, though.
Yeah, they got arms. They just need to.
Just got to put it together, man.
It's hard to do that. And then in the 10 spot, the ONEs, the ones. They've been swept back to back.
What's the inside joke on the ONEs?
I don't know. I just call it the ONEs. So, but with James Stein, when he makes the drive, when Chen shows up, these guys have to win 2 out of 3. Yeah. The prediction of 6 wins is ridiculous. I still think they're going to be. They're going to be 17. I think it's going to be 17, 18. Well, I know who, but there was other circumstances, but we know what it was.
I mean, if they only have 6 guys show up every week or every weekend, they're winning more than 6 wins. Yeah. Come on, guys. Adam Couts is on that team, man.
Yeah. So
Cody said Pharaoh should get the bats going this week, and they only got to face Lede and Rue.
Yeah. Pharaohs, welcome to the Terror Dome. So we're gonna go with the next one. So the next one is the Player of the Week. Sorry, Tyler. You won 3 games, but you pitched
4 pitches.
You threw 9 pitches. So I can't help you there. It's Justin Hicks.
Yeah. For me, 8 for 10. 10 RBIs, you said?
9 RBIs. 9 RBIs. He plays unbelievable defense. Yeah. Sasai calls it where ground balls go to die.
Literally. And the way he throws me off every time because it's so smooth. There's really no shoulder. It's almost I think it was you explaining or somebody explains he jumps a little bit. So
he, for all you guys and girls out there that kind of watch Aaron Rodgers throw a football, he pushes himself off the ground, right? So he generates kinetic motion, and that's what he does with the ball. Oh, image of his solo.
Yeah, that picture in there is the solo bomb, and I don't know who that's off of. I hope it's not off me, but yeah, no, he had a good series, man. He played his heart out for sure.
And like I said, he's just
the way his throwing motion. That's what you were talking about.
Yeah, he kind of jumps. He pushes himself off the ground. It's just a flick of the wrist. He checks the ball, make sure it's right, and Derek Corral, Alex Garcia, if you ever get to watch this, next time you have somebody like that when we still have free agent chips, don't bring him to the draft.
Oh, that Hicks is because of them?
Yes. He could have been on our team. He could have been on our team. I've made bad moves as a GM. I took Chad number 1 in one of the drafts.
That's a great pick. What do you mean?
When I could have had Lede. And I literally told Scottez Dobbins, who do you like? Lede's the best player in the draft. Yeah. And I took Chad. So that's our player of the week. Now we're going to do some predictions. Me against you.
Exciting. I love these.
So this is the best part of the day. We do the series in order. So if you guys are just watching, this is how they're going to play. The first series is going to be Saturday morning, 10 o'clock, then 1 o'clock, then 4 o'clock. And then on Sunday, we do 11:30 and I think 3 o'clock, 2:30. Yep. So the first series right out of the gate, Lightning, Vaders. This is... The Lightning have given up, we're going to say it again, 6 runs in 9 games. Yeah. And they gave up 4 in 1 game. They have 6 shutouts.
Yep. I mean...
And the other 2 are 1 runs.
I'm curious to hear your prediction, Brad. I think I got one that a lot of people aren't going to like.
Well, so Sasai hit me up, said, hey, we're going to have some attendance issues. Our boy Dan Skelly's birthday's this weekend.
Okay.
So no Hut, no Geo.
Yeah.
They're all playing golf. No problem. But I believe he said We still have, it looks like, a Billy, a Tanner. Edder's a 50-50.
He said Edder's in. He put Edder in the chat.
Edder's in, then I'm good with, I never change my predictions. I have the Vaders bringing them down to earth. They started off fast last year. What was the team that slowed them down? It was the Vaders.
That's crazy, right? That was my prediction. I got Vaders taking 2 of 3.
I got Vaders taking 2 of 3. And the reason I say that is because this is probably the one team that has enough offense.
And pitching.
And defense to battle. And early game, the wind's not going to be so bad. There's not going to be sun. If everybody shows, I think they have a chance.
Nighthawk says Lightning sweep. Cody got Vader sweep. I like it, man. I definitely don't see a sweep coming. I think a sweep's like plus 1,200 right now. But
I don't predict sweeps. I kind of give you like the sweep alert, but I like this game. I won't be here.
I won't either.
But I will be watching.
Absolutely. This is going to contend for Series of the Year right now, and it's early still, but this is up there with one of them. I mean, these are two.
So you and I both
teams.
agree.
Yep.
We're the same. You got Vaders. I got Vaders.
I just think that if the Vaders were put in the same situation that the Night Owls were put in against the Lightning, and not discrediting Tyler Hallett, I think he's pitching well this season, but if you put the Vaders in that same exact situation, they win that game.
Yeah,
100%. You walk Purdy out in the first, they're winning that game.
Yeah. So second series, Night Owls, Snappers. Both teams were swept.
Yeah, Snappers are sweeping. I don't want to hear the rest of your prediction.
But one of these teams is leaving with at least 5 losses in their last 6 games. Yeah. It doesn't, because either somebody's losing 6 in a row or somebody's losing 5 out of 6. Like that's just the way that it is. At this point in the season, you can't have that happen.
No,
because that's just such a big setback.
The attitude kind of, and I don't want to spoil all our secrets, but the attitude in Snappers camp here is this is a must win for us.
Yeah,
and TB7's kind of letting us know, like, hey guys, listen, we got to win this series.
So, and the worst part is both teams only scored 1 run last. So this is not going to happen. TB7 I kind of go with
and a little secret. Murphy might be there.
Oh, that's gonna be bad. So unbeknownst to me, I like the Night Owls vibe. I like the fact that the rookies play. I like Miller in the outfield. I like Holligan's positive. I like Malik's positive output. Bo Evans is a good manager. Silva can play. Yeah. Levi's playing well. But they don't have TB7.
No.
The best player on the field, maybe the 2 best players on the field.
Best player on the planet.
Yeah.
TB7, you heard it here first.
I got Snappers winning the series, at least 2-1. No, this is not I know you're not going against your guys, so you're not me. Because I go against my guys.
Oh, yeah, I don't. So, I don't care who we're playing. We could be playing the New York Yankees. I got Snappers in 3.
So, literally, that's the first 2 series. If you guys have never seen wiffle ball before, Saturday's the day to watch.
It's going to be a lot of good matchups on Saturday, man.
Those
are honestly 2 huge series. There's a lot on line for both teams. Like if you're the Vaders, you want to prove you're the best in the league. You're the Lightning, you want to hold that spot. If you're the Snappers and the Night Owls, both teams, like you said, come off sweeps. Both teams only scored 1 run. Both teams have scored 1 run in their last 3 games. Yeah. That ain't happening this week. So there's a lot of big games happening on Saturday. Make sure you guys tune into those ones.
The nightcap. Vipers, Bombers.
Oh my, it just gets better. Man, those are 3 good series.
That's a 3 good series. This one for
Saturday day for Whiffs.
It's supposed to be a little windy. It's supposed to be a little cooler. Hopefully,
for Mateo.
Mateo didn't hit any home runs. He hit 1 home run.
That's my guy.
That's the guy I think is going to win the home run every time because he's just built for the wiffle ball. Yeah. I think there's too much pitching, in my opinion. If the Bombers manage their pitching better than they did Saturday,
to me, it's not even really their pitching. We all know what we're going to get out of both sides pitching. What you need is the Bombers need to not make errors.
Yes,
they need to make the routines.
Yep.
And lately, and I said it live on the broadcast earlier, or the last broadcast I was on, that Mateo's been kind of quiet.
Yeah,
he hasn't really shown the Mateo that we all know and love. And I know he's kind of seemed a little lackadaisical, and I want to see Mateo lock in. And a locked-in Mateo is a guy you don't want to face. So if he can stay locked in, they make the routines, the pitching stays the way it is, I got the Bombers taking 2 of 3.
We agree. I got the Bombers taking 2 of 3. I think you see a TB Briner. I think Max pitches well. Yep. I think they figure out Petrovsky. I think they figure out. I mean, if Keegan's there, I think Keegan's going to be there. But
the problem is all the Bombers are right-handed.
All the Bombers are right-handed, so we're going to you might have to be back in the booth because we're not going to disagree on anything. Saturday's first series, my Legends. Looks like we are going to be the full Monty. No Garcia. That's it. Everybody else is there.
Okay.
Against the ONEs, and all
Tannick
information.
says no Keegan for that series.
No Keegan for that series. Okay, so that again, that change that makes it sways me even a little more.
Absolutely.
Couch called me and said, "Hey, can you move it to Monday or Tuesday?" We can't because we can't be here at 4. Yep. We're 9 to 5ers.
So works and stuff. Yeah.
So this is where I like it. I don't know if there's a Chen. I don't know if there's a Barrick. I don't know if there's a Stein. But if they're worried about having 6 guys, and I'm going to have all my pitching.
I hate seeing that, but
it's
unfortunate that
it just is.
It's the way the schedule plays.
It just is. It's just the way it is. I got the Legends winning.
Yeah, that might be a sweep.
Yeah, you said it.
That's probably the one for sure sweep of the weekend.
And then the last series, Pharaohs, PCL champs.
Yeah.
Logan Christie will be flying in an hour before he lands, an hour before the series as he's playing his other Wiffle League down in Scottsdale, where he was a top 5 draft pick behind Randy Dalby.
Wow.
So
okay, Logan.
Dalby number 1. I think Logan
I didn't
number
know
3.
Logan's taking over right now. Good for you, Logan. I'm happy to see that for you, brother.
Against the Cajuns, and we have been informed in the chat by Cody Runnels, you will see Ryan Roosh and Leday. Probably the last season, maybe the best 1-2 pitching punch we've ever seen in PLW in 5 seasons.
Wow, Leday has a Pharaoh sweep.
Pharaoh sweep. Well, that's Leday. Like all day. Come on. Like I love Andrew, but he don't say much. But when he does,
that's a troll, man.
He gets that's total troll.
There's Cody with Kate. Yeah, we know you guys are trolling.
So
man.
I got the Cajuns in the series. I think the champs are back.
I think. Go ahead. I'll let you finish. Go ahead.
I think this could be a sweep because if Logan's playing gets delayed, now you've got again Miller runs the ship if he's not there, but now your best hitter.
Yep.
Arguably one of your better defenders, probably one of the top 5 in the league, and your best pitcher's not there. So the
you're missing them in all 3
areas. Baxa needs to be there.
100%.
Bosnos needs to play there. You know what I mean? They need to get everybody there. I hope he makes it because I want to see a good series. And again, this is kind of, hey, Mansell was on the Pharaohs. He got traded because Logan, just in, you played too good. If you'd have played worse, you wouldn't have had to give up the best player.
I mean, I think this is an underrated series in my mind. It sounds easy that the Cajuns are going to sweep here, but like you said, if Logan shows up and Riley can show up and pitch, I still got the Cajuns winning. There's no way the Pharaohs win this series, unfortunately. But I do think it's going to be an interesting series because, like you said, Gavin's on the Cajuns, Logan's on the Pharaohs. There's a trade there. Logan might take this, a personal series against his former team, and the Pharaohs kind of have something to prove. If the Pharaohs lose another series here, it's not looking pretty over there in Pharaohs camp. And
wait a minute.
It's going to be a big bounce back series.
Leday saying he's flying back. Are you guys in the same? Are they in the same one? Hopefully no delays. Are you flying back?
He might be trolling.
Yeah, I think he might be flowing. Yes, they're playing the same. They're playing the same tournament.
Oh, they are.
So they're playing the same league or same tournament. So
let's just say in an alternate world that Leday and it's in New Jersey.
It's in New Jersey.
So
okay.
let's just say Leday and Logan somehow don't make the game. Is that sway your decision at all?
No, because
I don't think so
there's still this guy named Ryan Roosh who
just happened. What did he do? He did something crazy last year. I think he won the
Cy Young. He won 20
That's
games.
What it was,
He said he tied a record I didn't think anybody could touch because when the record was set, pitchers could start every game if they wanted.
In Pennsylvania. Yeah.
So that kind of concludes the part of the show. But we had a big trade. This is the first. So season 6, we're going to have free agency. So
it's going to be a big free agency. There's a lot of big names in this league that are free
I've got the free agent list. I'm going to do a show about 2 or 3 weeks before to see if anybody's going to move somebody, try and pick up a draft pick for somebody that, let's face it, there's guys that aren't going to stay on the teams they're on.
Service time is starting to become a big factor now. Like, you got young guys who are, have a lot of service time for stars who don't have a lot of service time. So it's going to be interesting to see how those trades play out because some of these win now teams could use a one good year out of somebody and then let them walk in the free agency or try to re-sign them.
Hello, with the Sand Vipers. Are you listening? You need a pitcher. So we had the trade, Austin Bird Bull for a second-round pick. I think that's a good pick for both teams. Bird gets to go from the outhouse to the penthouse. He's going to play for a team that's champion, but he has to wear pants.
That I'm excited to see.
I'm excited to see the white pants.
He's going to try to cut him up or something. He'll figure out a way. It says we did weekly matchups.
Yeah, we did the weekly matchups. We already did that. We just did that whole thing.
I think
he missed the stuff.
Cody says there's a couple guys that would look good in Cajun gear.
So, and then my man Cody Runnels. So, when we talked this briefly about before the show.
Mm-hmm.
He mentioned him in the chat on the stream, and like to me, the Cajuns are working on a deal that if they can pull it off, will shake the foundation of PLW as we know it. Cody said this. Now, it could have been a troll.
I don't know. When Cody and Lede, when their minds get running and those gears get to turning, there's a lot over there. Those masterminds.
There's a lot going on there. Cajuns, very close-knit team. Yep. A lot of guys that are said we're free agency. They might be able to be had for a song.
Yeah.
Second-round pick, first-round pick, whatever. Because the first-round picks have been in the last couple of years. Tyler Hallett.
Yep.
Andrew Miller.
Yep.
Not Kyle Silva. What's Silva's first name? I think it's Kyle Silva. It's Kyle Silva. You've got, you had Holligan available in the draft. Cade Watkins.
Austin Topol.
I mean, you've had Malik Ogburn. The top 5 guys are playing fantastic wiffle ball. That caliber of player comes out. If I can get, Nick Thompson to show up. If I can get,
I think Nick Thompson would be.
Sick. We got people that the league is getting better.
Yeah.
Picks will mean more.
I mean, picks now are already bigger than they've ever been in this league. These guys are like, for instance, like you said, look at the impact of all the top guys, or all the top rookies that have been drafted. Like Austin Topol is a daily starter starts every game.
Yep.
Malik's hitting, I think, 380 or 390,
and playing left field. They just plug and play.
Just plug and play. Hitting bombs. Look at all these rookies are Gavin Manziel. There's a lot of big rookies right now, man.
Justin Hicks, first overall. Yeah, you're right. So, I mean, we've got some really good players that have made a lot of impact. The name that comes to my mind that would shake the foundation.
Okay. Listen, guys, this is Cody Runnels of the Cajuns. Him and Lede are 2 of the biggest masterminds in this league. And when they talk about trades, everyone gets to speculate. So I'm actually curious who Brad here do you think is going to shake the land.
It's a good buddy of his, Ryan Chen. He's not an owner. No. He's not a manager.
I was thinking more. I was thinking, Chen. Oh, my God. Chen and Cajuns, I don't want to see it,
Chen won it out of the ones last season when it was down because he kind of felt like, hey, he can't play every week.
No.
They don't need him to play every week. You know what weeks they need him to play? He's already played 1. He needs to play, 6 more?
Yeah. I mean, that guy alone will push your team to playoffs. I don't care what team he's on.
If he plays on any team.
If you pick 5 random people off of Blue Diamond and put Chen on that team is going to compete.
Yeah. And another 3-way star to go with a pitching staff of Roosh and Lede. Now, what they have to give up, I have no idea. It might just be a pick. It might just be like, we know Chen.
It depends how much service time he has left. If
he has none.
This is it.
This is it. He's a free agent next season.
If you're the ones, I think it works out good on both sides. But if you're the ones and that's what you're thinking about, hit up the snappers, please.
And then,
one other idea that I have though, is that the moment you told me before the show that Cody was thinking of a big trade, I've heard his name floating around from different managers and different players, Kyle Eder. And I think
that'd be so great.
And the reason why I think Kyle Eder is, they bump heads a little bit over there in the Raiders camp, and I know there's been a lot of turmoil over there, not to go into depth because that's none of my business, but he's a guy that could thrive off of a change of scenery. He's already an amazing player as it is. And if he finds a team where he's, keeping his mind straight and the guys that are, won't go for none of the stuff that he does, they could turn that kid into like a legit monster in this league. And I think the Cody and Lede's and those guys over there, and I know him and Roosh and all those guys they've been friends together. They play basketball together. I don't want to see it, but a Kyle Eder on the Cajuns would be.
And again, so when people talk about trades that'll shake the foundation,
it's not. That
is one of the trades. The last trades, the 2 trades that really sparked me for changing the foundation of the league. Warbirds trading Hicks to the Vipers.
And I think I know the second one.
And the Vipers, you know it.
Trading Trench.
I know it. Trading Trench, the curse of Trench.
Yep. And at the time, that was a massive trade. I remember.
This was literally a Brad, Trench for your first round pick. I call Sansone. He goes, "What are you doing?"
Yeah, done.
He goes, "Do it." There's no player in the draft that season or the following season that would have the same impact as Trench.
Value, yeah. Trench gives you it all. He plays amazing defense, hits, pitches. I mean, what more could you want?
So that kind of concludes the show. Go ahead.
Tanik has Eder and Billy Santu on the Cajuns for Roosh and Giordano?
Nah.
I don't know about that one.
I don't know.
But you never know because remember,
first round pick and a free agent chip. So yeah, I traded the free agent chip.
You never know though because remember where Roosh came from.
Nothing.
No, where he came from was the Vaders.
Yeah. Well, the Vaders also had this guy named Logan Christie. He's the
That's
reason they got
also
into
true.
the league. Like,
Yeah, but I mean, the reason why that trade stands out to me too is like Roosh's attendance. I know he's been spotty for the Cajuns. Maybe
Saturdays work
Vaders
better.
yeah,
Did they have more Saturdays?
I know
think
Roosh has I think church or something like that.
church on Sundays,
so,
but he's also a firefighter, so
Yeah.
it's 4 days on, 2 days off. So
maybe that. I don't know. I'm excited. Make sure you guys stay locked in though.
yeah, so he used that free agent chip on Keegan, and I don't know who he used the first round pick on, but
Doesn't matter. It's not Trenchy.
it wasn't Trenchy. And ever since then, that trade, I think we literally we went 5-1 against them the first year. I think we've gone 4-2 or 3-3 last year, and we we were the guys. We went 4-2 as the Tomahawks. We finished 8-34. Do the math. We had the longest losing streak, 17 games, and the longest winning streak, a Nick Sansone, 14.
I am curious. Who do the Bombers play again week 1?
Bombers play. Oh, it's Sandvipers.
It's Bomber Sand. It is Bomber Sandvipers.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
Bombers, Sandvipers, Vaders, Lightning.
Listen, if we can, Bauer, please go down to yourself. Give me a thumbs up if you think you're winning that series.
Give me Dungeon. Show me my guy.
Yeah.
So, guys, that's going to end our Thursday recap show. Catch me again next Thursday. We'll see if we can get Jonathon Wilson up here again because I like the banter back and forth. TB, hit the music.
This was a lot of fun, guys. Thank you.